This is the news bulletin on eLight Information Channel.
Greetings all viewers of eLight Information Channel. Of course, this is Senez and PM on global and local news. Today we shall be looking at the news update concerning about the economy, ad hoc committee, Madlanga Commission, Health, Education, Corruption and Politics here in South Africa. So up to so far, there is no major province-specific economic release today, but the broader context is about that the government is under pressure to show growth and job creation while dealing with fallout from corruption scandals exposed by the Madlanga Commission. So the Commission's findings on criminal networks inside the state have raised concerns about investor confidence and the cost of doing business. That's what I am having it for you concerning the issue of economy. But when it comes to the ad hoc committee investigating allegations made by KZN Provincial Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Mhlahla Mkhwanazi is active. So next hearings will feature testimony from high-ranking officials, Lieutenant Tebelo Mosikili and Mr. Abel Mapoho. So the committee is probing claims of police crime syndicate links and political interference. Hearings are public and streamed on Parliament TV, YouTube and Twitter. So that's what I got up to so far concerning that. So about the Madlanga Commission is about that day 87 was held Thursday on 9 April 2026. So the key updates concerning the interim report received. So President Cyril Ramaphosa formally received the interim report from the Madlanga Commission chaired by the retired Justice Mbuyiseni Madlanga. So the presidency will not release the interim report publicly, saying only the final report will be published. So spokesperson Vincent Ngwenya confirmed this on Monday. So that's what I am having it for you concerning that. So the content therein is that the interim report includes witness accounts and evidence gathered over 3 months on criminality, political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system. So that's what you must be knowing concerning that. So about safety concerns, the inquiry said it will not be deterred by the murder of witness D. Mauritius van der Merwe. So concerning the latest testimony is that General Mkhwanazi described the situation as terrorism, alleging individuals seek to control government through criminal activities. So testimony also unveiled a suspected drug cartel with political connections, allegedly headed by the Big Five police minister Sezo Mchunu. Was placed on special leave after allegations he had ties to crime bosses. So that's what I am having it for you. So when it comes to the issue of health, Lena Kapavir rollout is the big story. So South African plans to roll it out at 300 plus government clinics in high incidence district by the April 2026, targeting 450,000 people first. So the twice yearly HIV prevention jab showed nearly 100% effectiveness in trial. Branded version first with generics expected 2027 at $40 per person per year. You see, so prioritized groups: adolescent girls, young women, gay, bisexual men, transgender people, sex workers, pregnant or breastfeeding women. So that's the target. So when it comes to education, for now there is no major national education developments reported today in the latest updates. Most coverage is focused on the Madlanga Commission and ad hoc committee hearings. So when it comes to the issue of corruption, is the central threat today. So the Madlanga findings produced a testimony that points to a drug cartel operating across provinces with political connections infiltrating the criminal justice system to manipulate investigations. So concerning police implications for the allegations that crime bosses had ties to police minister Sezum Chunu led to disbandment of an elite unit investigating political matters. So that's what we're getting. So concerning a presidential response, Ramaphosa says if the commission finds criminal behavior, he wants prosecutions. He's thanked the commission and is reviewing the interim report, as I gave you the very same report earlier. So when it comes to the politics, President Cyril Ramaphosa, as I said, that he received the interim report and expect criminal matters to be referred to the prosecutors. So President's decision not to release the interim report is controversial, so to say. Critics call it a delay tactic. Government says it is to avoid misinformation before the final report. So up to so far, the commission break is currently on break. During the day today, it was on break, but it will resume next year, whereby they will be busy with their assignment. So that's what I was having it for you concerning the issue of the ad hoc committee and the Madlanga commission. This is Elite Information Channel, Thought of Thoughts. The program is, or the show is, global and local news. So when I'm checking here on the African State News, is that in Nigeria, at least 15 people were killed when gunmen on motorcycles launched simultaneous raids on 3 communities in Niger State. So Amnesty International reports the attackers fired indiscriminately and looted shops. Northern Nigeria continues to face threats from Islamic militants and criminal gangs specializing in kidnappings for ransom. So when I look at the issue of politics, the African Democratic Congress has formally petitioned the INEC over the suspension of the party's recognition ADC leaders. So accused the Tinubu administration of pushing Nigeria towards a one-party system through alleged interference in opposition parties. So protests were held in Abuja. So when it comes to the entertainment, Fuji musician Saheed Osupa openly stated that he engages in traditional spiritual practices commonly referred to as juju or voodoo to aid his success. So looking at the issue occurring in Sudan, UN Human Rights Office reports alleged the rapid support forces slaughtered more than 1,000 civilians during a brutal April takeover of the Zamzam displacement camp. So the camp housed nearly 500,000 war displaced people. So the UN investigation from 155 survivors who escaped to Chad describes killings, sexual violence, torture, and kidnappings. So at least 319 victims were summarily executed. So the UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk warned these targeted slayings could constitute war crimes. So that's the other issue. Looking to issues occurring in Morocco, reports of human rights violations against the Gen Z protesters, including arrest and abuse, with nation described as divided. So that's what I can say. So concerning regional Southern Africa, climate in terms of climate and health, for floods and malaria are creating a deadly cycle in Africa. Climate change is driving food-induced malaria outbreaks. Experts call for early warning systems, rapid response, community engagement, and response, community engagement and regional cooperation, since malaria news no borders. Southern African faces more frequent climate shocks. So that's what I can brief it for you. So when I proceed, UN Senegal linked Texas bar shooting suspect, 53-year-old Diagni, was identified as a neutralized US citizen from Senegal. He opened the fire wearing a clothing featuring an Aryan flag design, killing 2 and injuring 14. FBI investigating as potential terrorism. So that's what we are getting. So coming back to South Africa, about the economic reforms were announced by Finance Minister Dr. Lebohang Motsepe, aimed at boosting local manufacturing and attracting foreign investment for job creation. So new vaccination campaign against seasonal influenza and a pilot program to improve online learning access were also highlighted. So that's what I can simply just give it to you. So proceeding like that, looking at the world news, US Iran diplomacy. For historic talks between the US and Iran are underway in Islamabad, Pakistan. So an Iranian delegation has arrived. US delegation led by Vice President J.D. Vance expected. So Pakistan declared holidays and tightened security across Islamabad for the talks. So the goal of the gathering is all about to strengthen the fragile ceasefire and prevent further Middle East escalation. So Pakistan is acting as mediator and is under global spotlight. So that's what you should have to know. Going further like that, concerning the India economy and RBI. So RBI held the repo rate at 5.28% due to West Asia conflict uncertainty, warning crude prices strengthen inflation. FY27 GDP growth forecast 6.9%, inflation 4.6%. World Bank raised India 2026 to 2027 growth forecasted to 6.6% after US Iran ceasefire. So India cut lending, parking charges 25% for domestic flights to ease airline cost from West Asia crisis. So that's what you must be knowing. So going further like that, in terms of looking at the Russia, Ukraine, and Israel Hamas. So UAE proposed building temporary housing in southern Gaza under Israeli control for displaced Palestinians, but diplomats question viability. So in Lebanon, 100 plus locations hit in 10 minutes reported. Netanyahu says Israel ready to return to battle at any moment against Iran. So when it comes to Russia-Ukraine war, continues with technological setbacks and diplomatic efforts. So North Korea mourns death of ceremonial leader Kim Jong-nam. So Australia men escaped the mass stabbing on UK train. So about climate change, AI regulation and space mission remain key global priorities. So that's what I can give it to you. So let me conclude by other African countries where I will be looking at Mozambique, where police fired on opposition supporters marching in Maputo, injuring at least 10 people. Checking again on South Sudan, Minister Puot Kang Choi and General Duop Lam arrested in crackdown. So going to Zimbabwe, battling aid shortages as drought bites. So assembly elections of 2026, Azam Kerala Butacheri recorded higher voter turnout by 85.38%, 78% plus and 89.83% respectively. So that's what I was having it for you here on Global and Local News. Let us meet tomorrow on the very same show when I will be back once more to give you the news updates occurring in South Africa, even in the African states and the world. I love you people. Shalom.
These news headlines were brought to you by Elite Information Channel. Thought of Thoughts.